I don't even think I don't even think I can do like a proper intro for this, so I'm not going to. Yeah, okay. Let's see how this goes. I think I should start with a warning. This year, there are going to be times where it feels like your life sucks so much that you're going to think it's all a dream. I don't say that to scare you, only to prepare you for what's to come. You see, this year is going to start off on a pretty good note, just like you're hoping it will. But it'd be silly of you to think that things would stay that way. I can't really tell you how you're supposed to feel about January. That month is full of ups and downs. Even right now, as I'm writing this to you, I'm stalling because I really hate to talk about that month. But I guess we can start with something small. Well, smaller than the other two things. You're going to go to your best friend's bonfire on January 2nd because that day will just so happen to work with everyone's schedule better. You invite one of your friend's boyfriends in hopes that she'll show up if he does, since they're always together. You're going to regret doing that though, because 2 weeks later, you won't be friends with either of them anymore. It's going to hurt you because you're going to feel like she chose him over you. But eventually, you're going to realize that life happens, and there's a time to dwell on little things, and there's a time to move on. So, you move on to the next 2 major events of that month. But let me rewind back to the night of the bonfire for a second, since that's where the second major event begins. As you're saying your goodbyes to everyone that night, you're going to yell out, "Oh, and thank you for your service," to your friend's brother, who just got back from a deployment. Everyone's going to think it's funny because apparently he hates that. Little do you know at the time, that's the beginning of a friendship. Even though he's going to try to annoy you by saying that the two of you are only acquaintances, nothing more. You start talking, and a few weeks later, you'll have to say goodbye because he has to go back to work. But before he leaves, he suggests that y'all meet up to say goodbye, so you do just that. Your friend, aka his sister, will have started to joke with you about how the two of you are obviously interested in each other, but you'll tell her that she's just imagining it because you don't know exactly what's going on yet. Right before you arrive at the restaurant, you figure it's a good idea to call her and tell about you and her brother meeting up, just in case it's a date. You aren't really sure about what the two of you are until he pays for the meal. But before that happened, you already knew that you wanted to keep in touch after he left. Fast forward to the end of January and you confess feelings for each other. But you tell him that you refuse to make it official over the phone, so he'll have to wait until he sees you again in person. And that's going to come way sooner than either of you would have thought. This is why I was stalling earlier, because as crazy as January sounds already, it gets crazier. All of a sudden, too. It's a Thursday, and you're dreading school because you have a math test first block and you hate math. While you're taking that test, a voice sounds over the intercom. And they call you to the office. You wonder what it could be, and when you get there, you see your uncle, and you wonder why it's not your dad because you're expecting him to be there to check you out with urgent news of some sort. I just want to tell you now that life won't be the same after this. Your uncle tells you to go get your sister and head home because your dad's in bed and he's not doing too good. The drive home, seeing all those cars in your driveway, those are the main thoughts. Wait. The drive home, seeing all those cars in your driveway, those are the moments when you're going to fear the worst right before you face it. You're going to be scared to walk into your house because it's as if you already know. As soon as you step into the house, you're going to hear the words, "He's gone." And you're going to wonder what on earth is your mom talking about? Because everything's happening so fast, and you just saw him yesterday when you told him to have a great evening and that you loved him. You're going to cry, such an ugly cry that day. You're going to hate that you're so loud, but you won't be able to stop. You and your cousin are going to cry in each other's arms. And you're going to cry when you try to explain the news to your best friend that day. You're going to cry so much. You're even going to tell the boy that you've been talking to about what happened. And it's going to be so weird because just the night before, you were telling him about how your parents were. You will have told them that they aren't super lenient, but they aren't strict by any means either. You'll even try to give an example of that when you accidentally ruin a surprise visit to go see him when you say, I mean, they're letting me go with your sister to come see you this weekend. And he's gonna think it's funny that you ruined a surprise like that. But it really doesn't matter that you ruined it because that doesn't end up happening due to the timing of things. Crazily enough, your future boyfriend's first thought is going to be to buy a car and drive 6 hours to see you as soon as he can so that he can come visit you. So that weekend, because he said he needed to wait to ask, and both of you knew you were going to start dating the next time you saw each other in real life, he asks and you say yes. Now we're going to have to go over the rest of the year pretty fast considering January will be such a life-changing month for you and just had to be talked about. The rest of high school drags on and you're so ready to graduate. It's a good thing you're ready because it approaches fast, even though it won't seem like it as you're counting down the days. Graduation day is one full of emotions, and you're going to really wish your dad could see you graduate because you just know that he'd be proud of you. Because he always used to tell you that. He'd also be proud of you for getting accepted into the school you're going to start attending in August. Right after graduation, your friends and you will go to Panama City Beach for y'all's senior trip. It's going to be one for the books. Not because anything super crazy is going to happen, but it's 5 totally different girls living together in one condo for a whole week. Good luck in advance with that, and have fun. Sadly, you'll all drift apart after that, some way more than others. Right after that trip, you'll go to the beach for the second time that summer, but it'll only be with one of the girls that you went on the senior trip with, and it will be to visit Domingo, who at that point in time will be your boyfriend for 5 months already, which is absolutely insane. To focus on y'all's relationship some more, you won't get to see each other much at all because of the whole long distance thing and crazy schedules, but you're seriously going to enjoy the time that you do get to spend with each other. The month of June will kind of suck because he'll leave to go train abroad and then you'll barely even be able to text him. He's going to do everything that he can to show you that he cares though, and you're going to be so incredibly thankful for that. Summer will be over soon, but not before one more beach trip, this time with your family. It's going to be the first family vacation without your dad, and it's going to feel so weird. But you'll get through it, and you'll enjoy the time that you get to spend with your family before you leave them in August. Your birthday this year is going to be amazing, thanks to the guy that stole in your heart. I won't ruin it for you, but you're going to love it. School will start in August, and you'll be kind of intimidated by the size of Athens at first, but by the end of first semester, you'll have grown used to the city size. The first semester of college is going to teach you a lot. But I'll save all of that for another video. To end, I want to assure you that even though this year will be the toughest one yet for you, it will be manageable. You're going to go to church less, but you're still going to know that God is good and you won't stop trusting in Him. Your GPA is going to drop the first semester of college, but it's fine. It's totally normal. And at some point, you're going to feel the most lonely that you've ever felt in your life this year. But that's just life doing its thing. You're going to be okay, I promise. So, with that being said, I encourage you to make all the mistakes that you need to make. Good luck, girl. Happy New Year. It'll be a memorable one, that's for sure.